Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Numerous politicians and famous entertainers have publicly distanced themselves or actively opposed Donald Trump, your president. The most prominent figures to turn on him vary from former cabinet members and Republican officials to massive pop and rock stars who have taken legal action against him for using their music. Nobody wants to be associated with him. They hate his guts, even the people who live under the roof as he does, the same roof. They hate his guts. Melania hates his guts, but she ain't got no bigger gig right now. You know, she got to rock with it right now. She in too deep, so she have no choice. But you better believe, over there. Yeah, you think she ain't? Yeah. Man, don't nobody like Trump. He didn't even have any friends. What person you know of that prominence don't even have one childhood friend? He ain't got one childhood friend that he can point to. You know why? Because Trump do everybody eventually dirty. Everybody around him, eventually he turns on. Yeah, man. So check this out. He hops on his failed Truth Social network and he goes on an early morning diatribe saying this. On Wednesday, June 24th at 7 p.m. in magnificent Washington, D.C., now totally beautified and one of the safest cities anywhere in the world, and in celebration of our country's 250-year history, we will be bringing you live the greatest rally ever. It will be special at every level, a rally to end all rallies. We don't want singers with no talent, but big fees to put you to sleep. We've told them all to stay home. All we want is you, me, a few speakers, and the greatest music ever played, the same music you have listened to for years. We will have the fabulous Lee Greenwood. Oh, Lee Greenwood, you don't say. Introducing me with what has turned out to be one of the greatest hits of all time, God Bless the USA. And the amazing Christopher McKeough, who will sing Nessun Dorma, Hallelujah, Ave Maria, God Bless America, and others. Not since the legendary Luciano Pavarotti has there been such a voice. The rally will also be featuring the wonderful U.S. Army Band, Pershing's Own, and Armed Forces Choir, and the President's own United States Marine Band with the Joint Armed Forces Chorus. All of his favorite hits, plus the fine and highly dignified gentleman known as President Donald J. Trump. This rally is going to be trash. Man, this ain't no rally, man. This is a whack-ass concert dressed up as a rally. They could not get artists to commit. So since the artists dropped out left and right, he started calling the artists overpriced and not talented. But at first, they were going to have a ball. He was just praising the artists, just praising how great this concert was going to be. Then people started distancing themselves, and next thing you know, he's talking about, he's like a jaded lover, right? He's like one of them type of dudes, like everything's cool until, in fact, he's not like even like a jaded lover. He's the jaded guy who gets rejected at the bar. You know, he walk up to you and, you know, he try to offer you something. You don't want the drinks. And then, you know, he's still trying to holler and you like, get your ass off me. You stinky, you ugly, you stink. Move. You know, he don't even pick up sign language. I mean, he don't even pick up body language. You right here, he right there, you here, and your friend is over here, and you're doing this. Yeah. Yeah, like you get to a point so nauseating looking at him, you can't even look at him. You just be like, Yeah. No, no, no. No means no, you perv. What? Hit him with hit him with the Kendrick. Hit him with the Kendrick. What? Anyway, fam, you want to know some of the names of the people who turned on him, the people who are no longer allies with him? This is deep right here because he has a long list, and I'm just going to give you the short version because many of his former allies, administration officials, and Republican colleagues have become prominent critics of him. They include Mike Pence, Trump's former vice president, who broke with him over the January 6th Capitol attack, certifying the 2020 election results, and later mounted his own 2024 presidential campaign against him. Oh man, he absolutely hates Mike Pence. You know, he's also threatened, I think that was him. Did he threaten to kill Mike? Well, he kind of like put it out there that somebody should do something to Mike. Liz Cheney, the former third-ranking House Republican and vocal conservative, led the congressional investigation into the January 6th attack and became one of Trump's most prominent conservative critics. Mitt Romney, the Utah senator and 2012 Republican presidential nominee, has been a consistent conservative opponent of Trump, voting to convict him in both of his impeachment trials. John Kelly, Trump's former White House chief of staff and retired Marine Corps general, has spoken out heavily against his former boss, describing him as fitting the definition of a fascist. Chris Christie, hadn't heard about him lately. The former governor of New Jersey and early Trump debate prep ally became an aggressive critic during his own 2024 presidential primary run. And here are some of the singers that have broken rank. They didn't necessarily break rank. They never liked him in the first place. This is a massive roster of musicians and bands from across the globe, fam, who have actively condemned Trump. They include Taylor Swift, one of the biggest pop stars globally. She has become a frequent target of Trump after endorsing his Democratic opponent, Kamala Harris. Celine Dion, after her hit, My Heart Will Go On, was played at a 2024 campaign rally in Montana, her team released a swift, highly publicized statement stating the usage was unauthorized and did not reflect an endorsement. Bruce Springsteen, known for his occasionally fighting right-wing politicians over his track Born in the USA, he has been a deeply outspoken critic, famously calling the Trump administration treasonous. Yeah, see, Born in the USA is be rocking. That's a rocking song. So he couldn't get the original, so he got a fake to sing the fake USA song. The Rolling Stones, big critics of his also. Neil Young. How you get Neil Young to turn on you? Neil Young don't mess with nobody. Neil Young, the veteran rocker, famously threatened copyright infringement lawsuits to block the use of "Rockin' in the Free World" at Trump's campaign events. The Foo Fighters, the band, publicly called out Trump campaign in 2024 for unauthorized use of his hit, My Hero, at a campaign event, resulting in the campaign removing the track from campaign videos. And the list goes on and on and on, fam. We haven't even started talking about the list of artists who dropped out of his failed Freedom 250 concert series. That's a long list of people. How you get that many enemies, man? I got it when you're a roach, uncivilized mutt. It's good to see some people still have some integrity, man, because it's so many of them that will leap at the opportunity to run their asses over to the White House and take a picture with that dude. You know, and some of them, they just want to go to the White House, even if he's not there. They think the White House is that, all that. I just don't look at it like that, fam. I look at the White House like it is tainted. I look at the White House like, when I think of the White House, I think about all of the corrupt people that do walk through there. I think about all of the lies that's been told, all of the oppressive legislation that has been signed in that Oval Office. I think about all of the racist history of that raggedy mother. You know what I'm saying? I think about the slaves who built it for free. You know what I'm saying? The ones who died building it and had zero respect to this day, never been recognized. I think of the White House like that. I don't look at the White House as a symbol of respect, a symbol of hope, nothing, because I know it's none of that. And the people that work in there, the people that are supposed to be in there to work for the people, I know that they're only in there to serve themselves. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.